There is a brand new DLC for Prison Architect. It's called GANGS, and it's all about gangs. And Paradox Interactive were kind enough to sponsor this video, so I could tell you more about Prison Architect GANGS, and also about the free update to Prison Architect that comes with this DLC called The Kite. So there is a long list of information on the left side of the screen right now, but long story short, Prison Architect GANGS brings 3 new gangs, that being the Jackals, the Bonebreakers, and the Vipers. It also brings new grants, that being Positive Energy, Advanced Protection, and Gang Welfare. We can talk a little bit about those when we get into the game. We also have new staff and prisoner programs, that being the Fight Club, Gang Rehabilitation, Tattoo Removal, the Faith Program, Breathing Therapy, or Breath Therapy, or something like that, and the Disarming Certification. We have new rooms, that being the Fight Club, Tattoo Removal Room, and the Cage. There are also new gang behaviors and events. There are crooked guards, and there's more on top of that. And then, thanks to The Kite, which is the free update that released alongside Prison Architect GANGS, we have 2 new wardens. And we're going to start by looking at Captain J. Locks. Now, staff under Locks' command are able to push past their limits, and prisoners are going to be molded into model inmates. Staff specifically will have a plus 30% stamina buff, which will require 10% more rest, and there is a minus 10% to prisoner reoffend chance. So Captain J. Locks is actually a pretty good one to have. But I'm personally a fan of this guy. You might be able to tell why. This is Dylan Cook. Now, this gentleman will smooth talk anyone. He will manage to get the best prices for your prison, and you better believe he uses coupons at the supermarket. If your warden is Dylan Cook, your food costs will be lowered by 25%, and programs that require external teachers will cost 20% less. There are also 4 new guard dogs in the Kite free update. You've got the Beagle, you've got the Black German Shepherd, you've got the Chocolate Labrador, and you've got the Doberman. But me being me, I'm gonna stick with the cat because I think it's funny, and I love cats, man. There's something about them. People are always like, man, cats are really antisocial. You haven't met my cat. My cat is obsessed with getting his hair brushed. Not even kidding. He hears the brush. If you pick it up and he's downstairs, you'll just hear these feet just like coming up the stairs, and it sounds a bit like that. He's a big cat. He's a little thick, but he just like charges up the stairs and starts yelling because he wants his hair brushed. It's adorable, and I love it. I love cats. Anyway, enough about my cat. More about the Kite. That's what we're here for. So other things in the Kite are manual cell swapping, which we can get to shortly. There is prisoner replacement, which is a new intake setting. There's a new mutator, which is going to let us remove room size requirements, which is actually going to be in this menu right here, and it is this option. And we are going to have that enabled because I actually like the idea of having custom room sizes. And I'm also going for wild growth again because I'm a little bit lazy. I'm going to do reduced dirt buildup because I can, but we are doing more contraband because something that the gangs are going to want to do is take over the contraband market. So having more contraband seems like it would cause chaos, which I'm honestly here for. There's also a CCTV improvement with the Kite, and there's a game menu cleanup as well. So that's everything. I've told you everything, but as I've said a million times, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this video is at 60 frames per second, so there's at least words in the video of this video. So let's play Prison Architect. And just like that, we are in, and it is crazy looking at this. It feels like forever since I played this game, and I'm really excited to get back to it. So let's immediately pause and figure some things out. We need to read the CEO's letter, which I'm going to read very, very not at all, and we need to accept some grants. So of course we can take 2 at the moment, and we have some choices, and I did mention that with Prison Architect GANGS there are some new grants. One of those is Positive Energy, which is going to want us to build a yard and add a weight bench. Description is gang members need to focus their mind and their energy into exercise rather than violence. Research has shown exercise reduces such actions, so set up some outdoor exercise equipment in the yard. Now, that's great, but if I build a basic detention center, I'll get more money, and also I'll build a yard that has the stuff so we can just go ahead and accept that later on. Now, there's also advanced protection and gang welfare as 2 new grants as well. Gang welfare. The goal here is to turn gang warfare into gang welfare. We need to reform 15 gang members into ex-gang members. Let's be honest, that's probably going to take a little while. That's going to take a minute. It's going to be kind of tricky to do that. So we'll not worry too much about it right now. What I want to do is I want to get a basic detention center. I want a basic admin center. And that is the basic setup of any good prison. And we have some space here that we can play with already. We have some buildings that have been obviously destroyed and whatnot. So what I'm going to do, I reckon, is I'm going to move some things around. So I want to go to my rooms, and I want to go to kitchen, and I want to just remove these guys. And I want to move deliveries to be, I'm going to say, right in front of this building here. It can be 13 by 7, and that's okay. I then want to move garbage, and I'm going to move garbage right down to the bottom here, and it can be 7 and 13 there as well. But I also want to do exports, because obviously we're going to have a lot of tree growth, and if I do utilize that particular mutator, I'd like to be able to export the logs. Now, if you've seen me play Prison Architect before, you will know that I do love the mutator that gives us those rapid growth trees because it's a very easy way to get money. I'm going to try my best to not just completely exploit that fact, but it is nice to know that if I do mess things up, I do have an opportunity to sort of, you know, not just have game over. So that's kind of my goal. I don't want to just have the game be over because I run out of money. That's the plan anyway. I'm also going to go into intake, and I'm going to say we want to fill the capacity with medium security prisoners only for the time being, although it would be kind of interesting to go for maximum security. That'd be kind of fun, but that also seems kind of dangerous. So we'll not do that right now. We'll stick with the medium ones. And I guess we're going to go into planning mode is what we're going to do. So this is our deliveries space. What I think I'll do here is I'm going to go something like 10 blocks that way, 10 blocks that way, and I want to go to the road. And let's see, did I do, so 10 there, so I want to go to the road here. And I want to just do this. I'm going to surround this little area, and we're going to put some gates across this to sort of secure it and all that good stuff. I'm also going to say that I want to dismantle the lights that are along this road because I want to put them in manually at some point. So that's going to be just a fenced-in area with some gates at either end. So we'll have deliveries in the middle. We can pave this whole space. We can put some guard towers out there one day, but that'll be okay. As for the rest of the prison, we're going to need a few things. And I'm wanting to see what size this is. This is 13. Which means that the midpoint is there. So that's our midpoint. So I'm just going to use this as like a guideline that goes the entire way through that space. I want to go ahead and put some doors here and here. And I want to do, let's see. I want to do some normal doors there and there. And then I'm going to bring some walls kind of around like this. And I'm going to go to here. I'm going to bring them through like that. I'm going to take this middle part out. And I guess I'll take this part out as well, because we still have our guideline here. And I'm just going to put like a single jail door there. So we'll have these lovely looking double doors right at the front. And I might go so far as doing like a little decoration with some bits of wall sticking out. So we have this beautiful looking entrance. And then it comes through into this tiny little room with just a single jail door. And I want that to open into a reception space, which is what this can be. So I can go ahead essentially and do, what is that, 13 by... It doesn't need to be too big, honestly. So 13 by, let's say, 9 is probably fair enough. I am going to cut these parts out as well, though, because what I think I can do is potentially go and throw some staff doors here. And we can have this sort of feed into sort of an admin space up here, and then maybe a storage space down here. So this will be our reception, right? So you come through these doors into the reception, and then we need a holding cell and showers, which I guess we can go up here and say, you know, this feeds into an admin area. So this can be our holding cell, and I guess this could be some basic showers. It doesn't need to be too crazy. But we'll do something like that. We'll do a door there. So let's see, we want a regular door and a door here. So holding cell, showers, back into the reception. We need a yard, a kitchen, a canteen, 2 guards, and 2 cooks. So I want to be very careful to not create something that's kind of terrible here. So let me just see what size this is. This is 12 by what exactly? 9. So 12 by 9. So I want to go here, and I want to go and do exactly the same thing. And then this is 7 by 9. So we want to come down here, and we'll go and do 7 by 9 there. So I'm thinking this is our canteen, this is our kitchen. And I might expand this a little, and I think I will expand this a little bit, because I think the canteen probably should be a bit bigger. And maybe the holding cell could be bigger as well. You know what? This is going to be a staff canteen, and this is going to be a staff kitchen, because we have this staff area here. So what we can do is go to doors, and we'll say that there's going to be a staff door, I guess, here. We'll do a staff door here and one there. So that way, staff can get into the canteen, cooks can get into the kitchen, we have a corridor here, and that's okay. So then we have all of this space to play with, and I should probably mention, this might be a pretty heavy planning episode, but I'm going to try and get through this quickly, and we're going to stick with just a basic detention center for today, and just the basic administration center. So my thinking here is we need a door, and I'm thinking I'm actually going to put a door there and there. So we have 2 out of the reception, and I want this to go into a corridor. So you come out these doors, and you're just faced with a wall, right? And then what I want to do is go up to here. I want to go down to here. And I basically want to turn that into our yard. Now, that's pretty big. But the idea is that eventually, so that's 35. Let's do 35 by 20. That's a pretty big yard. That is a pretty big yard. But I reckon what we can do here is we can build, you know, cell blocks and stuff like that off of this eventually. And that's kind of my thinking. So we have this middle section here. So what I want to do is I want to say that our canteen is, let's see, we want a corridor there, and we want a corridor that comes down here. We want to go 2 and across here. So we have this corridor that's going to surround the entire yard, which is going to be for the best. And then do I want a corridor that comes down through the middle? See, I don't know that I do, but at the same time, I kind of like that idea. So what if I was to do, what is that, an 18 by 18 sort of space? If I go down here and I do the same thing, we get 18 by 18. If I take out this middle section, it chops it down a little bit, but I can sort of continue this corridor around that entire space, and I think that's okay. I think what we can do is this will be nothing right now, but this can be chopped into, you know, something like a kitchen right here and a nice big canteen. This could one day be workshops or something like that for my prisoners. This is going to be their yard, and I kind of like that. I'm also thinking we'll do doors here. We can do a nice little singular door there. We'll do some doors in sort of all of the corners as well. So there's a lot of access to the yard. And then for access to the kitchen and canteen, well, first off, I want to make this a little tiny bit bigger. And I think what we do is just say that canteen access can be here and here. So this main corridor. We're going to have a staff door for the kitchen here. And I'm going to say there as well. So they can kind of come out this way, serve the food. There's the canteen stuff down here, and that seems okay. So that's pretty much everything as far as I'm aware. Holding cell, shower, yard, kitchen, canteen, and then, you know, staff, kitchen, and canteen down here. We're going to need offices. Obviously, we need the warden as well, but this is okay. This is a decent little start. So let's go ahead and start laying out some foundations. We do have $125,000, so I think we can manage. In fact, what I'll do is immediately go in with... Oh, using barred walls would be interesting. I don't know if that'd be too much for this, though. Or maybe perimeter walls. They're very expensive, but using perimeter walls for just this section would probably be okay, despite how expensive they are, because we are only setting up a small area. Obviously, if I remember right on perimeter walls, they are... Well, they're expensive, and you also can't run stuff under them, so we'll have to deal with that, but that's okay. We'll also go ahead and set up this, and I guess we set up the foundation for the rest of it as well. So I'm going to use brick, and I'm going to say this all needs a foundation, and then this all needs a foundation, which is quite expensive, but I think that's okay. This needs one, this needs one, and this needs one. So we can get that built. Let's go ahead and speed the game up. We should have my workers coming in, and they can go to work as soon as the materials get here. And that's going to be great. Although I guess we probably also want to say that we want to bulldoze absolutely everything in that yard, because we don't quite need it right now. We're also going to want doors. That's the other thing. We want to get the objects in here, and I probably want to do that before all of the trees start growing. So let me get a nice double door here and here. A nice staff double door there and there. And we want just jail doors everywhere at this point. So I'll just go ahead and sort of dot them absolutely everywhere. We'll get this built, and it's hopefully gonna be amazing. And just like that, we have the perimeter walls on here. We also have some gates in here that I think look fantastic. So that's gonna make this area really, really nice and secure. And that's exactly what it needs to be. So now that that's done, I realize technically these bits here don't need to be perimeter walls. So I slightly screwed up there, and that is a slight waste of money, but that's okay. Let's go back into planning mode whilst this is all being built and figure out our administration area, and we'll also figure out our storage area, because I'm also realizing technically we probably don't need perimeter walls down here either, because this might all be part of a building. So I might have wasted some money, is what I'm getting at. There's a really strong chance I've wasted some money here, and I'm not thrilled about it, but it's whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is a corridor, and this is a corridor. And I almost like the idea of saying that, let's see, I like the idea of offices almost being in this space. So if I was to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and in like this, that could be a little office. And then technically, that could be an office as well. And then down here, what we can do is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. We want to go 4. And we want to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we want to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we take that bit out, this gives us just a little, I don't know, maybe a security room could go in there. Maybe that's a staff room. It doesn't really matter what it's going to be. It could be a storage room, for all I care. But if I go 1, 2, 3 and across here, we could extend this a little bit so it's a little bit bigger. Maybe it is just a storage room. A weirdly sort of proportioned storage room, but a storage room nonetheless. So we have this nice big corridor. We do need to figure something out with it. So I think what I'll do is actually move this whole thing down just a little bit, so it's kind of in line. So this guy needs to be here. This guy needs to be here. You need to be there. And this needs to go away. This needs to go away. That goes there and that goes away. So that gives us everything kind of nicely in line. We have 3 offices. We have this weird storage space. We're going to want to do this. We're going to want to bring this down. And honestly, I think that right there is our storage space. We don't need a lot of storage. Maybe both are storage space. It doesn't really matter to me, but that gives us kind of a nice space as far as I'm concerned. And then what we can do here is we bring that right down to the road. We want to go and do 2, bring this down here and do that. And now I need to figure out, can I put offices in here? So offices are going to be 1, 2, no, they're going to be weird sizes. Okay. So what if instead of a staff room down here, we did Well, no, because the staff kitchen and canteen is down here, so it makes sense that the staff room's there. I've also done auto lighting, and I'm slightly annoyed with myself that I forgot to turn that off. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to go in and get rid of all of those lights at some point. But unless, can I like double click on lights? No. Oh boy. All right, let's very, very quickly dismantle that light. Let's very, very quickly go through and say, I want to dismantle all of them. Because I don't want them in those positions. I want them, I want to do them custom. I think I can get a really nice lighting setup if I do all of them custom. Okay, I think this will do for planning for now, for the admin space. It's nothing too crazy, but it works. I think this will probably be some kind of staff room, to be completely honest, so we'll do a staff door there. This is going to be storage, so it's going to have a door on this side into the yard. It's also going to have a door here, and I'll probably do some extra security down here at some point, but that's just how that's going to be. This might be security. I'm not really sure. I haven't decided at all, really, what that's going to be, but I'm thinking it might be security. And beyond that, I also want to link these back corridors to this little corner here, because I think that'd be kind of cool. So it does look like all of this is built, which is great news. So let's go back into foundations. Let's go to brick, and I might be getting so carried away here. I guess technically I could tell them to go and start chopping down trees, right? That is a thing I could tell them to do, and we would make some money, but let's try, at the very least, to not do that yet, because I just don't think we need to. So what I'll do is we'll go in, we can build all of this, we can build all of this, we build this, and we have $50,000 left. So by that logic, I should be able to do this, do all of this, do this bit, and that bit, and we should be okay. That's hopefully going to work out. I mean, it's going to need entrances and stuff like that, but it'll hopefully work out, and hopefully we can get it done in good time. And I also want to prioritize the top part because, you know, I just do. Now, while that's going on, let's go in and start laying out some walls here. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to use something else for the internal walls rather than just brick. And I kind of like the idea of the white walls. I think they're pretty cool. The classy green walls will be kind of neat. The medium security ones will be cool, but they're also more expensive, which I don't love the idea of. Reclaimed wooden walls. That doesn't seem safe at all. Cage fence. Huh. So that would go around a yard. Fair enough. I guess let's just use the white walls. And we'll sort of surround that space. We can surround that space. We'll surround this bit as well. And, well, I guess these ones over here technically should be a little different. So that's going to be a white wall. In fact, let's make that a tiled wall and that a tiled wall. Let's make this guy a white wall and this one a white wall. And then this one is a white wall as well. This one down here is going to be brick because it's sort of like a main wall for the building. And I think that's okay. And that'll start to give us an idea of what this is all going to look like. I'm also going to go in and say that I want a staff door to be right here, just so we have access to the space for when someone inevitably gets stuck, which we kind of need them to not do. I'm also looking at this and thinking it's completely built and it just needs an entrance. So objects, or rather walls and doors, give me a nice double staff door right there. And someone please build that. There we go. I think this entire thing is due to come together. There it goes. Oh, I love that. I love just the little gradual process of it all like officially being a thing. It's really cool. It does, however, look like some of the perimeter fence is still there. So if I go into walls and whatnot, brick walls, we want this to be a brick wall. We need that to be a brick wall. And we're also going to need the same for this bit and possibly a bit more as well. None of this has an entrance either, so let's go back into doors. Let's go to double staff door right there. Let's prioritize that build, please. Let's also get one here, and while we're at it, there and there as well, just so we have access to that space. And then once this door's in, we should, in theory, see this entire space actually build, which it now is, which is kind of fantastic. So I'm actually going to be able to see what's going on and see, you know, how weird things are looking or whatever they're happening to do. So there we go. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. We have these doors here. So let's go to walls, and let's say that I want some brick there and there. And I also want to demolish this bit and that bit, so it just opens up those corridors. And then beyond that, I just have a few bits of wall to put in, and we're pretty much good. We have very little money. Very little money. But the good news is, I can probably go ahead and start tearing down some trees. I did say I wasn't going to abuse the whole tree thing, but running out of money this early would be, number one, embarrassing, and number two, a bit of a problem. Especially in a sponsored video. Wouldn't be a good look, you know? Wouldn't be a good look. So now all of the walls are done. And I did make a slight change down here because I've decided this is going to be my utilities room. So in there is going to be the power station and also the water pump. So they live right down here, and I think that's a good place for them. We can also throw a capacitor on here at some point as well. So that's a good place for those things. It's sort of out of the way, and it's got some storage next to it. That's great. What I now want to do is I want to go around all of the rooms and lay out exactly what they're going to be. So we need a canteen. That's what this space right here is going to be. We need a kitchen. That's what this space here is going to be. And I totally forgot to put the doors on that. So let's very quickly go and say we want a staff door here, and I want a staff door here. So that's going to be our kitchen. We also happen to need a shower. So that's what this space is going to be. We need a yard, which is going to be this enormous space here. We're going to need some offices right there. We're going to need a holding cell as well. So if we've got a padded holding cell there, but what I'm really looking for, quite simply, is, you know, just a good old holding cell right in here. I also did see the cage there. What is the cage? An outdoor unit that a single prisoner can use to exercise, keeping them isolated from other prisoners. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll not worry too much about any of that right now. We have all of these rooms laid out, but what we need to do is say that this is also a kitchen. We need to say that this is also a canteen. I also want to say that this is storage. And I want to say that we have a staff room right about there. So that's a lot of rooms. That's a lot of space. I also need a reception, which is going to be this space right here in the middle. So that seems pretty good. That's a good layout, I think. I think it's going to be great for us. We just happen to need a lot of furniture. We need some lights. We need some floors. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we need, but we'll get there. It's okay. We're getting there already. It's just gonna take a second. So let's start with the shower, is what I want to do. And I'm thinking we go plain and simple, bunch of shower heads there, bunch of shower heads there. We do the same with the back wall, here and here and there and there. And that's fine. That's gonna be our shower. We can put a drain underneath the door, and there's nothing to worry about. For the holding cell, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Well, do I want to do it that way? What if I did it this way? So that'd be 5, and I could do 1, 2, 3 like that. Now we do need benches in here. We also need toilets. And the tricky thing with the toilets is I like to be kind of fancy with them. So if I was to put a toilet, say there and there, can I go in and say that I want some walls, I want some tiles just here, or rather like that, I guess would be my thinking. So they're sort of enclosed, right? I guess if I did that, it's a little more enclosed. It's still part of the holding cell. That seems fine. I don't know where we put a bench at this point. So maybe one of the beds goes away, and inside the holding cell, which does need a bench, we just give them like a small bench. So just like a little bench right about there. And that should keep them happy. They are going to need lights, though. So I guess I can just line the middle of this space with a bunch of lights like that, and everything should be okay there. The shower can have lights just in each of the corners, so it's nice and bright. And then the reception will do lights in sort of the corners as well, as is in the middle there. This canteen can be kind of a similar story. We'll do lights sort of around in the corners, and the kitchen's going to be lit like that. The utilities space can have lights in the corners. The storage space can have lights here. And let's be honest, you're not that interested in seeing where all of the lights are going, so you can sort of just see very quickly where they are right here, and that's the layout we're going to go for on the lights. So we'll get all those put in. We'll get the furniture into the holding cells and the showers, and now we'll look at the reception, which needs an office desk or a fancy desk, some tables, and some chairs. So we'll go for the regular office desk on this one, and what I'm going to do is put the desk just either side of the door, because I think that's going to look kind of intimidating. And for the tables, I guess we'll go for the small ones just because they're kind of interesting looking, and we'll do something like this. We can do some tables kind of there and there as well. We'll sort of drop them down here as well. And that just gives us sort of a nicely lined space for all of that. And the chairs can go here and here. So that'll give us everything the reception needs. This canteen and kitchen, I'm not super worried about. This canteen and kitchen, on the other hand, I am absolutely worried about. So let's get a serving table. We'll slap it right about there. And let's just get a bunch of tables. So my thinking is here and here. And I'm basically going to just cram these guys in here as much as I possibly can. I'm actually going to just sort of change those around slightly. So it's going to be here, 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 and I'm going to say there as well. I think that's okay. We can go for small tables and go here, here, and do what we need to do there. Although, well, that might be kind of weird spacing, but we'll figure it out. Do a couple of small ones there as well. We'll do some large tables coming out from this side and this side, and we'll go for a couple of small ones just here, here, and I guess we'll do that with it. And that's actually kind of an okay layout. As for benches, we want benches in all of those. We want benches in all of these. And we want some small benches either side of these guys as well. And that's just going to give us a pretty decent canteen. I don't know if one serving table is going to be enough, though. So I would almost be tempted to take out these guys, put another serving table sort of over here. And then maybe we do the small table kind of thing there with another bunch of small benches. And hopefully that'll be okay. So that should be a decent canteen. As for the kitchen, I think it needs a cooker, a fridge, and a sink. So let's say 2 cookers. Let's say a sink that can go right there. And let's say 2 fridges for now. And that should be enough for this initial prison. We're not bringing in that many people. We're bringing in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I might be going overboard, but that's okay. Not super worried about it. I think we'll live. So we need a kitchen. We need 2 guards and 2 cooks. We're so close. We also need power to everything, but it's fine. We're so close. So now we have our 3 offices. Let's go ahead and hire a warden who can go into the middle one, apparently. And now we need to research finance through bureaucracy. So let's go ahead and start researching that, and then we'll hire an accountant, and that'll get us a little bit of money with which we can probably, well, to be honest, we can probably finish all that we're doing right now with the money we have. So let's give that a quick shot, because we do have a capacitor, which will increase the amount of electricity generated here. Let's connect these guys together. And in terms of power, what I really want to do is, I guess we'll bring the power line out here. And I want to just try and hug the right side of every corridor. So this whole thing is going to go around like this. It's kind of expensive, but I'm pretty sure we can afford it. So hugging the right side there, hugs the right side there, the right side here, and then it just needs to go sort of around all of this, hugging the right side there as well. Sort of, it's obviously, you know, not actually hugging the right side there at all. It in fact needs to be here to sort of do that. I guess it's a matter of perspective. Whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. It's gonna hug there. And that should give us power to a lot of things. We need to run a direct line to these guys and to those guys, but that really should give us power to a lot of things. We probably want to bring it through the middle. but that should be good. I think we can manage that, and, well, I hope that we can manage that. I also do want to prioritize getting water to the pump right there, because I also do want my my pipes coming in. And the thing with the pipes is I almost want those to hug the left side of everything, or the opposite side of everything, just so that they're sort of separated. Now, this is going to be a little bit excessive in terms of the money I'm spending on these, but long term, I think having this option of just having these large pipes everywhere that we can, you know, plumb, is that the word I'm looking for? That we can bring water from is going to be good. I don't know if it's ever actually going to be used, but I think it's going to be good. So we'll see. So what we'll do is run the pipes like so, and we'll just run this whole area like this, I guess. So that whole thing is going to be nicely covered. Did I double up walls there? I did. Interesting. Okay, well, I don't necessarily want to do that. So I think we need to change this layout because it looks kind of silly. So demolish you, demolish you. In fact, don't demolish you. We'll just demolish that one. I want to prioritize that. And I'm going to say that we do a tiled wall right there. So let's prioritize all of this, please. So we can actually get that ever so slightly changed around. And now it looks like that, I guess. And that's probably fine, although I think that's technically two separate holding cells right now. So let me just very, very quickly get that all connected together again into one big holding cell. And now once all the pipes are connected and the power is connected, we can technically, I think, get the 2 guards and the 2 cooks that we need, and everything's good to go. So 1 and 2 guards, 1 and 2 cooks. There's a bunch of money. We need to go and hire an accountant. There's a bunch more money. So now we have the money to finish things, I think. Although I probably also want to get extra grants, just to be sure. So cell block A is raise my capacity to 15. I don't know about that one. Prison maintenance is maintenance through bureaucracy, unlock cleaning through bureaucracy. I'll be honest, I do like the idea of that one. So let's grab that. And advanced protection, I think that's a new one from Prison Architect Gangs. Staff protection is paramount when dealing with organized gangs. Train 20 guards in disarming. Oh boy. Okay, we'll go with prison maintenance, and I guess we'll go with cell block A because it's pretty good money. So, ooh, we're kind of low on power now. All right, well, good thing I just got all that money. Let's throw a bunch of capacitors around this guy. I'm just going to spend ridiculous money to max out this power plant right off the bat. And then we'll never need to worry about power problems. We'll be completely okay not worrying about them. Oh, I totally forgot. We also need to build stuff in the staff rooms. So let's get a nice wide couple of sofas right there. We also need a drinks machine, which can go in the corner there. We can also do a coffee machine next to it, which I think goes that way. Over by the sofas, we could do, I guess, a radio. We can do some snack machines in here as well, which is pretty cool. So let's do a snack machine right there. Seems like a pretty good idea. I do like the idea of arcade cabinets as well, but I also think table football and table tennis would be much, much cheaper. So I'm going to do table football and table tennis because, like I said, it's much, much cheaper. We'll do a couple of sofas here so people can kind of chill and watch what's going on. And that should be all right. That should be a decent little staff room. It's not going to be the best, but it'll do the job. Now, we've just unlocked maintenance through bureaucracy, which means we can go ahead and get ourselves a foreman, which means we can research groundskeeping and cleaning, both of which are going to be quite important. So let's get ourselves a foreman, and we'll get those things researched. We have staff coming into the staff room, which is lovely. I do also want to get deployment, so we kind of need to research security, as well as potentially prison policy, which might not be a bad idea either, but I don't want to spend all of my money. This does, however, mean that we're going to need another office sooner than later, which is slightly frustrating, but we'll deal with it. There's also no power going into this shower, so let's bring a power line up here. So that's all nicely connected. There's power here as well, which is good. Basically, everything that needs power has power. And this is also technically outside. What? What? How is oh my god, how is that outside? Is it because I never officially made it a building? I guess it might be. Oh, that's slightly annoying. Okay. Can we make that like an actual structure, please? Because I need that to actually be indoors. That's a little weird. I'd absolutely never noticed that. There we go. So now it's technically indoors. The lighting's a bit weird, but that'll fix itself in time. This needs to be a brick wall. That's a brick wall. That's a brick wall. That's all fine. That's a brick wall. There we go. So the lighting fixed itself. We have the lights in there. Everything's good. All right. So we've got groundskeeping. We need 2 janitors and a gardener. We'll get cleaning shortly. Let's just bring in 7 prisoners. Let's just do it. Go to intake. We want to fill to a total of 7, and that'll be all right. We also apparently need to connect a pipe to this guy, so let's do that very quickly. But that should give us people. That'll give us everything we need. That's going to be kind of great. I'm also wondering, have I unlocked? Yeah, I do have security. I need deployment. I also want intelligence and patrols. It's a lot of money I just spent there very, very quickly, but I do need those things. So in terms of where I'm going to put these offices, I actually have no idea. Maybe we just expand along here and stop going for symmetry. So we would say, first off, clear any planning that I have. So planning and walls. What size are these? These are 5 by 5, right? So we would go 5 by 5, 5 by 5, and 5 by 5. We can do another one here if we really wanted to, which honestly I don't mind. I like the little staggered thing going on there. And I guess what we can do is some kind of little extension here. I don't know what that'll be. It might just be more storage, but we'll do that eventually. In fact, I know I said we were going to get away from symmetry, but I think just for now, let's do this and let's do this just to get these offices in here, because we're going to need them sooner than later anyway. We already need one, so we might as well. So now that this space is built, I've gone ahead and cloned this office, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that I want to actually only clone this part, and I want to say that I want 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that'll give me a bunch of offices. We can prioritize that, and that should keep us covered. This little bit down here is getting worked on as well, but it's less of a priority. My main thing is just getting these offices into this space, which is hopefully gonna be quick. It's looking like it's going pretty quickly. And I suppose I can also go ahead and just clear all of my planning again. And yeah, it is actually going remarkably quickly, which is lovely. I love it when a plan comes together. And just like that, we have 4 offices. So let's go ahead and hire ourselves a chief who can work in one of them. And the chief will, I believe, immediately go and start researching deployment, which is great. Now, we probably wanted that sooner because we have prisoners arriving in 30 minutes, but that's okay. I'm not super stressed about that. We will survive this initial day. It's not the end of the world. We need 2 janitors, though, and we need a gardener. So there's 1 gardener, and there's 2 janitors. That gave me some money, and we can now go and grab another grant or 2. Well, another 1 for now. Staff well-being. Build a staff room, 5 guards without duties, none are exhausted. We'll take it. And what we'll also do is go and research an extra grant. And maybe micromanagement too. Give me the tools to micromanage aspects of my prison, unlocks food logistics, deployment scheduler, which we absolutely need. So yeah, we need to be spending money to start making good money here. Apparently we have too many prisoners for the holding cells. I disagree. I'll tell you what we don't have enough of. Guards. 1, 2, 3. Let's just make sure that things aren't gonna just completely go to hell immediately. We did complete some grant right there, which I think was my guards weren't working, but that's whatever. These guys are, oh no, they're waiting solitary confinement, really? You guys have been here for 30 seconds and you're already going to solitary confinement. That's actually kind of impressive. I've got to be honest. I'm not even, I am mad, but I'm also not really mad because that's just kind of impressive. It really, really is. So if I look at you, let me end your punishment because I'm not really interested in sending you to solitary right now. Let me end your punishment as well. Now this guy is a gang member. I don't know what gang he is with, but he is a gang member. You can tell because he's got a bandana. We can also assign a guard to him, which is pretty cool. So we can basically have them looked after. I think we're about to put him in a holding cell with a different gang, though, which has me slightly worried. I'm going to be honest. I don't know that putting him in that holding cell is a good idea. That might end in disaster. And by might, I mean probably will. Because it's going to be rival gangs, isn't it? That's... oh boy. We might want to look into that. We really, really might want to look into that. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. So extra grant is coming along, deployment's coming along, micromanagement's coming along. Honestly, I think this is a decent little start for a prison. We've got a secure area. We've got a nice big canteen. We got the kitchen. What is going on here? There's no prisoners assigned to eat at this canteen. What? But there's these guys. Or is it because this one's too close? Oh. It might be because this one's really close. And looking at it, yeah, they're being let into a staff area because this is the closest canteen. Now, the good news is we just got deployment. So we can immediately go and say, staff, 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 staff. So now they'll be let out of there and kind of sent around to the other canteen. So we'll say this is a staff area as well. This is all staff only. So that way prisoners will never really be going up there. And that should be good. Now, I don't know that they're going to be fed today. Yeah, it doesn't look like they are going to be fed today, but that's whatever. Obviously, the prison's not really running super efficiently right now either, but we have a deployment scheduler, so if we really want to, we can say that, well, actually, let me go to reports. Let me move the deployment scheduler. Let me go to regime, and let's see what we're doing. So they sleep, they go into lockup, they shower, they lock up, free time, lock up, eat, yard, lock up, free time, lock up, eat, lock up. I want to change that. They get up in the morning, they shower. They eat, and they, you know what, let's say quick shower, 2 hours to eat, into the yard, and then work in free time from there, straight through, up to about there. They get a bit of free time afterwards. They can eat. They can shower. And I don't know if I want them to go back in the yard. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I want that. Maybe yard, then shower? Or maybe just free time. So if they want to go to the yard, they can. That's probably fair enough. So that's kind of our schedule that we're looking at. So from here, that all needs to be 1 up until 7. And I think 11 as well as 1. So that's something like this. Then, no, 7 is going to be 2. And then 10 p.m. is also going to be 2. So that's the shower block. 8 and 9 is going to be 3. And then also 7 and 8 is going to be 3 as well. And then what have we got? 10 a.m. is going to be 4. And that's probably fine. And then I guess 11 through all of this is going to be 5, since that's work and free time, which right now is just going to be free time. So 6 is also free time, so that's going to be the same. 9 is free time, so that's going to be the same. All right. So what we want to do is during, I guess, 8 and 9, which is this, we want to say 2 cooks in that kitchen. We'll probably say, it doesn't really matter down there right now. So 2 cooks in the kitchen at that time. We also, yeah, that might not work out for us, actually. We might want to say that we want them in the kitchen here as well. And here as well. I don't know if that's going to work out, because technically the cooks are, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. As for guards, during the night, we want them in the holding cell. And probably here and there. And, I mean, we're going to want, you know, guards roaming as well, but whatever. During shower, we're going to say 2 guards in the showers. During eat time, it's going to be guards in the canteen and then everywhere else. During yard time, we're going to say 3 guards in the yard. And then during work and free time, 1 in the canteen, 2 in the yard, 1 in here, and 1 sort of roaming the hallways, and that should be okay. And then I think that's pretty much everything. So every guard can kind of roam around and do what they gotta do. I don't know how good of a setup that's gonna be, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll be okay. We have $27,000. We have some gangs in here. We've got, you know, bandanas and stuff that we need to worry about, but this is fine. I think the next step, to be completely honest, is actually going to be setting up a cell block. So we need to figure out what that's going to look like, and we need to figure out how that's going to work. And we might want to figure out whether or not we actually want to potentially separate the cell blocks based on gangs, because that is a thing that you can totally do. I just don't know that we need to do that. And what do you want? Corporate, cooperate with your confidential informants to unearth corrupted guards. They'll be sent to the chief's office to share what information they have. Make sure to have CIs recruited. Check the question on the intelligence menu for more information. Lovely. Do we have any CIs? It doesn't really look like it, does it? It doesn't look like anyone's interested in working with us right now. Which probably makes sense. I'll be honest. That kind of checks out. Informants. Hold on a minute. You. No. Are any of you interested in being a CI right now? It doesn't really look like it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We can absolutely go into grants, and we can get positive energy because we need a yard and a weight bench. We can probably also... Let's see. Visitation is something we want. Security chief, 10 guards, patrols, 3 guards, patrol routes. We're kind of getting there, so we'll take that one as well. So now we just need to put stuff in the yard. Let's very quickly do that, because I totally forgot to actually put stuff in the yard. So for weights benches, we'll go and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do a nice 5 weights benches there. We could do some dumbbell racks, kind of opposite those, if we really wanted to, so people can kind of work out in this general area. I don't know what the tire stack's for. It's a wall they can walk around. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm not really super interested in tire stacks. That seems kind of weird. We could do some benches for them to sit and eat at, though, which might not be a terrible idea. So we'll do a couple of benches, like, up here. Like that. And I guess we could also throw some phone booths in here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I guess we'll do 4 down at the bottom as well. So 1, 2, let's see, what kind of line is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't mind that. I think that's a decent yard. If we want to, we can throw some running track in here, which I think they'll probably enjoy. So we'll do like a little running track here. We can actually sort of undo a little bit of this. Let's just do a big chunk of running track for now. It's kind of expensive, but that's all right. We'll throw some grass into the middle of it, and then I just want to sort of line this entire yard with grass for now. We are 100% going to have to put down some flooring everywhere, and the entire yard doesn't need to be grass, but just for now, we'll keep it relatively simple. In fact, what I'll do is I'll throw some paving stones right around the edge of this entire thing, and that way we have somewhere, you know, something fast for them to walk on. But we can also do paving stones under this sort of workout space. So it's just a bit unique looking. It's a bit different looking. And that should be a good yard. Now, obviously, I will say, my guards are... we might need more of them. I think we do need more of them. Let me go ahead and hire, like, 2 more guards. Just to make sure that, you know, my workers can always get to the doors, and so that all this stuff is opened up and all that good stuff. We must reduce the number of... we must reduce the number of prisoners in holding cells. I thought it said guards for a second there. I was going to say, why do we need to reduce the number of guards? We don't. We're good. We just need a cell block. That's what we need. What do you mean there's been a death? Hello? How? Oh my god. I'm not even an episode in. It's not even a series yet. It's just one video. And somehow this guy is dead. How? Just Just how? Why? Why me? Where do we even put him? We don't have a morgue. We have nowhere for him. Do we bring a, oh, we do, okay, so we're bringing a hearse in. Okay, so we're not putting him in a morgue. We're just putting him in the wagon and getting him out of here. I'm actually impressed at the fact that in the first episode of a series, I've managed to have someone die. And by impressed, I mean more astounded. It's not a good kind of impressed. I'll say that much. I'm not sitting here going, man, I'm good at this game. It's definitely not that. Okay, it's whatever. The yard is done. It's looking good. We got a nice running track. We've got some space out here, which is going to be made to look pretty as well, which I think is fantastic. And we absolutely need to be doing that to make the place look more appealing and like a proper prison. Next time, we're going to have to build ourselves an actual set of cell blocks. That's the priority. That's the big deal. That's the goal. That's the challenge. That's the hope. But that's going to be for next time. For now, we're going to leave it there. But before we do, of course, need to talk about this video's sponsor, which is, of course, Paradox Interactive. Prison Architect Gangs is out now, and you can click the link in the video description to check it out for yourself. There are new gangs, new grants, new staff and prisoner programs, new rooms, new behaviors and events. There's crooked guards, and there is much more on top of all of that. I'm really excited to see what kind of chaos is going to take place within my prison. Hopefully you are as well. And if you do check out Prison Architect Gangs and you're so inclined, I would love to hear about your adventures in it as well. You can tweet me at ConflictNerd, or you can share your adventures in the comments on this video. Do whatever you so desire. But I'm curious to see what you do with Prison Architect Gangs when you sit down to play it, which, if you want to do, like I've said, there's a link in the video description. But that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.